Well, I guess I could find the freaking leak now. Good morning. I'm Ryan and welcome back to the channel. I appreciate y'all coming back and watching. I want to say thanks to everybody who watched the last video. It's over 100 views, which is pretty cool. Super excited about that. So that was really cool. But I know I didn't post anything here lately. I've been down, you can probably hear, I've been down sick for the past 3 days. I had a touch of the flu, but finally feeling better. And if you've watched the news at all, we got a little bit of a wintry storm over the weekend we've been trying to dig out of. I'll take you out here and show you. Everything is still, this is Wednesday now. This stuff came in Saturday into Sunday, and it's all still just a sheet of ice. We got about a 1/4 inch of ice here, which is thankfully we didn't lose power, but I had some friends and stuff that did, so but they got their stuff put back on and all that. It's been interesting the past few days, and so today I'm gonna try to, I have a fuel leak I need to fix on the tractor. If you can see right there, we got a little drip going on. Not quite sure what the issue is, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this fixed this morning and see what's going on with that. I gotta take this side cover off. So I'm gonna pop the side cover off. I believe it's coming from right around in here. It might be this line wore through, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go through this and check it out real quick and see if I can figure out where it's coming from. Clean it up and get that fixed today, and then I'm gonna try to go out and pick ice out of the lane and see if the Ol Kubota will handle getting through the ice with this box blade here, because our lane is still probably got an inch and a half of ice most of the way through it. So I'm gonna try to get it cleared off so everybody that lives down here can get in and out a little bit easier. And they're calling for a potential of another winter storm in another couple days, just coming over this weekend. So, and this one looks like mostly snow, and it could be, I've seen 3 inches to 1.5 feet or 2 feet. So we'll see. It's still early, but if we do get snow, I don't really want it packing in on top of all this ice and making things even more difficult to get in and out. So, I mean, I couldn't even get my truck out. It was sitting on a sheet of ice. I had to push it with my tractor. Even in 4-wheel drive, it was just spinning. So I ended up having to give it a little bit of a rock and a push with the tractor to get it up out of the hole and out of the ice. So I'm gonna try to get at least our driveway cleaned out of ice. I did do a little bit the other day, but it just made more of a mess than anything, and I don't wanna make too much of a mess of the lane or even my driveway and all that. So we'll see what happens. But let's get on this tractor here, see if we can get this fuel leak fixed. All right. Trying to get this side cover off. I'm gonna pop my hood here. I'm over here with all these clothes on. Cold like this, it makes everything more difficult, as I'm sure you guys that really live in cold areas already know. This is a little odd for Virginia, where we are, to have this cold weather for this amount of time. All right. Actually, I think it's leaking out of here. See, it looks like it's a little wet. One of this O-ring might have got damaged or whatnot, but I'm gonna start the tractor to see if I'll clean this up and start the tractor, see if I can see where it's dripping from. But I think I've had issues with this fuel filter housing in the past. So it could be something that simple. Hopefully that's all that it is. Run a bit. I cleaned this area off. I'm not seeing where it's coming from, which is odd because it was a pretty sizable leak. And if you look, that's just from this morning when I had it running earlier today. So I'm not real sure. It's kind of looking like it's getting wet again around here. I've got a little tool. I got my oil filter wrench. I'm gonna try to give it a crank or two here and see if we can't maybe seal that up. But I'm not real sure where that might be coming from. It doesn't seem to be anywhere. I'm not sure, it's all pretty wet. This tractor does need a good go through. I noticed there's a little bit of a hydraulic fluid leak on the pump here that I'll probably have to mess with. Hopefully not until it warms up a bit more. Give this a little spin or two here, see if maybe we can't move this. Turn the fuel valve off for a sec here. That's pretty tight. I don't want to over tighten it, so I guess we'll just have to see. So I don't know. I'm not sure if that'll do it or not, but we'll give it a shot and just keep an eye on it. Maybe I'll check it again tomorrow when it's real cold, because it seems to be worse when it sits overnight and I start it up. So maybe we'll check it then. And also, we'll see, but for now, I guess we're gonna go try to see if we can't clear some ice. And I don't know if you've seen it in the background or not, but yes, I still have one more pig to do. I got all of them done except for that last one, which is ours. I got them all done on Saturday before the storm came in, and then this head cold or whatever it was put me down pretty hard. So I know a couple people had expressed interest in a video on that. So I'm probably gonna work on that tomorrow is my plan. And I will be doing a video on how I butcher down a hog and make my sausage and bratwurst and all that stuff. So I'll have probably a two-part video. One breaking it down and packaging it, and another one just doing sausage and seasonings and things like that. So look forward to that coming here in the next 4 or 5 days. I'll get that out. But for now, let's go see if we can freeze our balls off and pick some ice. Well, that did a little bit, and hopefully it's not going to get much above freezing today, if it does at all. But maybe the sun will help melt some of that off, and maybe later this afternoon I can drag a little bit more off. But I think what I'm going to try to do is angle this blade here down a bit so it wants to dig in a little more, but not enough to where it's going to bog me out and make me spin. Because even with four-wheel drive on ice, it's not going to do me new darn good. So we'll see if we can adjust this thing to where we could pitch it down a bit here. That way it wants to dig in a little more, maybe get underneath that ice and try to really scrape it up, especially when I go up here to do the lane. So I'm going to adjust my top link here. I think I need to adjust it in to make it tilt, if I remember right. So let's try that. I'm gonna have to get on here and get a wrench. I'll take you with me. So if I fall and bust my ass, you'll get to see it. Makes good content, right? Go figure. I turn the camera off and down I go. But I want to show you something cool while I'm down here. As I slide down the hill, look at the ice coming off the solar kiln there, how it's curled. I think that looked pretty cool, and I was just going to turn the camera on when I busted my ass. But it is getting some of it up. If I get this hill squared away, we'll be all right. Oh yeah, get some of it up there. All right, well I made a pass, recorded some of it. I'll try to get some more. I'm gonna try to angle this a little more. I brought it in here where it's flat. I mean, it's angled some, but I want to try to angle a little bit more to really kind of get underneath that ice because it's so thick up top and it stays shady up there most of the day. So it's not really going to melt. I'm hoping if I can at least bust it up, maybe some of the sunlight will help it melt between now and the weekend. You know, we'll just see what happens. All right, well, I'm bottomed out of my adjustment on this thing now. So that's about as aggressive as I can get it. And it's got a pretty good stance to it. So if I have to, I was thinking of maybe dropping the rippers down a bit on here to maybe get down into that ice a little bit better, but I'm not trying to grade the lane. It's too cold and frozen for that. I don't want to make a damn mess. But we'll see. Let's give it a shot. If I pop that pin there and that pin there, I could shift this to where all the snow dumps out on the right side of it. So I'll have to angle it this way, I think. Yeah, should have to angle it this way. So hopefully the snow will kind of all go on the right side on the edge of the road and not in the middle of the road and not pile up as bad. So we're gonna give that a shot. Should be as simple. This is just a bolt because I lost the pin. But it should be as simple as popping these pins out and just shifting it. I hope. Let's see here. Thankfully they're not frozen. So let's see if we can do that. Maybe. I put it in there. Maybe we won't drop that down and we'll leave it level-ish. That's about as far as that's gonna go. That bolt should go in there. Come on now. Oh, there we go. She's in there. Okay, let's try that. See if that helps at all. think I'll stop here after a bit. Let the sun do its job for a little while. And then come back out this afternoon and trying to keep the sun out of your eyes. We'll see what happens. Well, that's not good. Well, I guess I could find the freaking leak now. Oh, that's just freaking wonderful. Well, I think I found the fuel leak. I'm not sure if it broke or if it just came out, but this line here, which is the feed line, I shut the valve off so it's not dumping fuel out anymore. But I don't know if that's broken. It goes in, I don't know if you could see, it goes in right here. So let's see if maybe I can pop it back in. That might be an issue. I don't know if I could do this with the camera on. I think it's gonna be a two-hand job, so I'll see if I can get it back in to hold at least enough to get it into the shop, but I'm assuming that's where it was leaking at, which means I might need a new fuel cap or a whole new top piece through here, and I hope I can get it by the weekend before this next snowstorm comes in. All right, well, I've got that back in. I guess let's see if it starts, and if it starts shooting fuel out, I'm gonna leave this cover off for right now. Well, I don't think I recorded any of that, but I think I got her going. I'll show you what I did in a minute. Well, I'm not real sure what happened there, and I thought I had it recording, but I think you saw the massive fuel leak. So I've got the side cover off here. Okay, I'm not sure if it's a bad O-ring back in here and that piece is popped off, but it was dumping diesel. I think you caught that on camera. I think I caught that on camera anyway. But to get it started back up, there's a bleeder screw right here. You unscrew and you crank it till it starts to run. It pushes all the air out. So obviously that's the back here is that feed line that goes to the injector pump. And obviously it got air in it because it was just hanging off. So I had to bleed that out, but that's one nice thing about these Kubotas is that they're pretty easy to bleed the air off. I've had an issue a couple times with fuel gelling in this thing before I had the shop and I'd leave it outside. I'd have an issue with fuel gelling and pumping air into it, trying to get it to start. I just had to remember where that was because it's been a while, but I guess I'm gonna monitor it. I don't know if it's gonna keep dripping. It's obviously got a lot of residual fuel that's gonna drip out now just from that massive leak, but that was interesting. Didn't expect that. I'm glad I caught it. So I think for today, we're gonna call that a day. I've got the lane pretty decent. I think the heat from the sun is gonna do the rest. Got a couple layers of that snow and ice graded off or plowed off, or whatever you wanna call it, around here. So it's looking better. I know, it's still, you know, you see the ice still on all the trees. We had about a good 1/4 inch from Saturday into Sunday overnight, but just to make things a little bit easier. And I got most of that hill cleaned off going up that way. So I think that'll be okay. Usually here where we are in Virginia, you know, we'll get 3-4 inches of snow and it'll be gone in a day because it gets back up to 40, 45, 50 degrees the next day. But they were saying it's not supposed to get above freezing all week. So usually I wouldn't even bother with doing anything like this because it would just melt off, but that's not the case. And if we do get any snow over the weekend, I don't want to just pack in on top of it and then just have it stay frozen. So I figured I would give it a shot. Now I know that this is not the right tool for the job also. That's not really what this box blade was designed for, but it's what I've got. I'm not gonna invest money into a snow scraper or a plow for my truck or anything like that. This so far, and it's only the end of January, has been probably the worst winter we've had in Virginia that I can remember. We moved here in 2013. So, I mean, I'm from Pennsylvania originally, so snows down here usually aren't anything close to what we get up there. I know my family up in PA, they got a foot or more over the weekend, I think. But I think that's going to do it for today. I appreciate you all watching. I'll try to get this out. And like I said, I will have a video coming soon of butchering that pig back in there, and we'll get that squared away. And also, until then, I'm going to try to do that tomorrow and get it done before the snow comes in. So until then, I'm going to grab me a pack of pork chops out of this fridge here for dinner tonight. See what we got. That's only 3 of them. That won't be enough. There we go. Can't get any fresher than that. These suckers were walking a week and a half ago. So I think we're going to do that for dinner tonight. Thank you all again for watching. If you would, hit the like button and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Share the channel. We will see you on the next one.